Summary of The Killing Plains by Sherry Rankin. The Killing Plains by Sherry Rankin is a gripping tale of survival, betrayal, and justice set against the harsh and unforgiving backdrop of the American plains. From the very first page, this story pulls you into a brutal world where the land itself seems as dangerous as the people who roam it. The wide-open spaces are filled with silence, secrets, and the echoes of violence from days long gone. It is a place where right and wrong blur, and where trust can mean the difference between life and death. Rankin paints this desolate and deadly landscape with masterful detail, pulling the reader deep into a suspenseful narrative that refuses to let go until the very end. At the heart of this novel is a woman who has already lost too much. Haunted by the violent death of her family and the bitter memories of betrayal, she carries wounds far deeper than the ones that scar her skin. She returns to the plains not to heal, but to uncover the truth behind the horror that shattered her world. Along the way, she faces men who have no mercy and a justice system twisted by greed and corruption. Her quest is not simply for answers, but for a reckoning. The Killing Plains tells her story with raw emotion and relentless tension, as each step she takes brings her closer to danger and to the truth. The novel excels at creating an atmosphere thick with dread. Every encounter feels weighted with threat, and every conversation seems to hide something more sinister beneath its surface. Sherry Rankin writes with precision and restraint, never relying on cheap thrills, but instead letting the natural terror of isolation and human cruelty do the work. The protagonist's journey across the barren plains mirrors her emotional battle within as she struggles with guilt, anger, and the desperate need for closure. The people she meets are as harsh and unforgiving as the landscape itself, each hiding motives that unravel slowly as the plot unfolds. What makes The Killing Plains so compelling is how it blends elements of mystery, psychological thriller, and Western grit into one powerful narrative. The violence is stark but never gratuitous, and the pacing moves with a quiet intensity that builds steadily toward its devastating conclusion. The setting feels alive in its silence, a character in its own right that shapes every decision and twist of fate, through betrayal, violence, and the harsh realities of survival. The novel reminds us that justice in such a world rarely comes clean and simple. It is earned through blood, sacrifice, and unwavering determination. For listeners who crave audiobooks that combine haunting landscapes with unforgettable characters and high-stakes suspense, The Killing Plains delivers on every front. It is a story about the damage people carry and the brutal strength it takes to face the ghosts of the past. Sherry Rankin's novel is as unflinching as the land it portrays, offering a chilling reminder that sometimes the greatest threats do not come from nature, but from the human heart itself.